Well, friends, welcome to Red, White, and True News. I'm Mr. Brutally Honest. Today is Sunday, and I figured today's as good a day as any to give my opinions on some things that's going on. Since I just got home from work, I figured this would be a good time. So let's just dive right on into it because there's been a lot of crap going on this week and last week, and my opinions are mine alone. They're not based on anything else. They're just my opinions on what's going on. So I'm just going to kind of go from there. First thing first, Letitia James. Let's visit about this New York Attorney General. This is a woman who ran and said she was going to go after Trump no matter what. Okay. Well, she took him to court. We all know how that turned out. And lo and behold, would you know it, the district attorney herself has been charged with the crime. But as we all know, only conservatives and Republicans are guilty. No liberals, no Democrats, no socialists, nobody on the left side. It don't matter if you're just beginning left or way left. You're not guilty of anything. We all know this. At least they try to tell us this every single damn day. Well, let me tell you what. If it quacks like a duck, it's a duck. Like I was told many years ago, that little black speck on top of chicken shit, that's chicken shit too. You know, you can sit there and tell the fibs all you want. You can tell the lies all you want. We know you're guilty. Because how can you be a district attorney in the state of New York and then have a primary residence that you're supposed to be living in Virginia? I don't think you can make that drive every single day, be there on time, be there to work. I've never been in that country, but from what I've been told, you guys got traffic jams out the wazoo up there. So you can sit up here and flap your gums and say, this ain't about me, it's about y'all. You can sit up there and just say how bad it is that somebody is taking the justice system and weaponizing it. Well, let me tell you something, little lady. You did the same damn thing, except for 10 times worse. You did the same damn thing by going after President Trump, worse than anybody else ever has. You and Alan Bragg and all these other yahoos out there, you guys just beat the walls trying to figure out a way to do something that you couldn't get done. Yeah, he was found guilty on one thing. Out of all the stuff that he's been charged with, only one guilty thing. But here's the kicker. You and all these other liberals, rules don't apply to y'all. The laws don't apply to y'all. Y'all think y'all are above the law. You don't give a damn about your fellow man. All you care about is you. All you care about is making a name for yourself. And try to do it off of somebody else's name and what somebody else has done. Now my thinking of this, and I'm just an old rancher, old cowboy, I think you're about as windy as a fart in a hailstorm. You know, to me, you're as worthless as tits on a boar hog, to be completely honest. You really are. But that's just my opinion. That is nobody else's opinion, that's just mine. And I'm going to stand by what I think because you're proving to us every single day how true it really is. Okay, now, the next thing I want to talk about. The East Wing. Everybody's having a canary fit over the president remodeling and building a ballroom onto the East Wing of the White House. Okay? Everybody's throwing this fit. Oh, that's not his house, that's your house. That's your house. That's right. That is the people's house. That White House up there that is in Washington, D.C., which is in a 10 mile by 10 mile square radius, that's how big it is. It's not a state. It's a sovereign place in America. That's the first thing everybody's got to realize is Washington, D.C. is not a state. It's sovereign territory. It's 10 miles long but 10 miles wide. That's it. But what people don't realize is this. You guys are having a heart attack about him remodeling something. Well, have you done your history? Do you remember your history, or did they even teach it to you when you was in school? Or do you have any idea about American history? You know, if you go on there and you can go into Google, you can go into Bing, you can go into DuckDuckGo, you can go into ChatGPT, all these other things. And all you got to do is ask, how many presidents have remodeled the White House or the grounds of the White House? And you'd be amazed at how many of them did. And here's something else that might just frickin' amaze you. Go in there and see how many of them were Republicans. That might amaze you. I mean, look, the most racist president we ever had in history. Well, to me, he's one of the racists. That Lyndon Baines Johnson. In case you youngins don't know who he is, he was a president right after Kennedy got killed. Okay? He was probably the most racist president we got, and he come from Texas. Wilson was pretty bad too. Wilson was damn bad, but Johnson had him beat. But anyway, Johnson had a swimming pool installed at the White House. Granted, it got filled in after he left office, but you know, still. Then there was a couple other presidents that had the entire White House completely rebuilt on the inside. There's been presidents, Democrat presidents, that changed things in the White House. But see, you guys aren't studying your history. You're not looking at your history. All you're doing is going off what these media companies are telling you, and they're flapping their gums, and you guys are believing them. Well, you know, enough's enough. Start looking crap up. Start learning your history. Start looking at what is true and what isn't true. Don't go by what ABC, NBC, Fox, anybody else, all these news networks, don't even believe a damn thing they say. Go look it up. Do your research. It's just like when Nancy Pelosi, when she was Speaker of the House, and they were coming out with Obamacare. Well, we can't read the bill yet. We have to pass it first before we read it. And look at the healthcare crisis we're in now. But yet, that's what the Democrats right now are wanting to pass. Some more Obamacare as far as keeping the insurance and the health insurance for the public. Well, it's a proven fact that Obamacare does not work. None of it works. Oh, you get to keep your doctor. Bullshit. You don't. Oh, your premiums won't go up. The hell they won't. I can tell you this. I signed up for the American Affordable Care Act. I signed up for it the first of this year. First part of 2025, I signed up for it because I'm a vet. I don't have insurance. And I don't have insurance right now because I dropped it. But I said, I need insurance. So let's see what we can do. Oh yeah, we got insurance for you. You're going to get all these tax credits. You get $3,000 worth of tax credits. Okay. Everything sounded good until I got my first statement. I'm 61 years old. Never had insurance in my life, other than when I was in the military. My first statement, my first payment during Obamacare for this program that they touted as such a damn good thing, $1,490 a month. That's what they wanted me to pay, is $1,490 a month. I ain't paying that. There ain't no way in hell I'm going to pay that. No, because I can't afford it for one. I don't make that kind of money. I'm a rancher. I'm a ranch hand. I don't make that kind of money. And then they said, oh, you can use any doctor you want. So good, because I'm going to use the VA. Oh, well, you can't use the VA if you got this insurance. The hell I can't. because I don't have insurance through the VA. Well, you can't go to the VA. You have to go to these doctors. And they gave me a list of these specific doctors I had to go see. I'm like, no. For one, they're all quacks. They don't know diddly. And their thing is in and out in 5 minutes. Try to see as most patients as they can in a day. So this thing that the Democrats are got this country shut down on is this Obamacare, American Affordability Act, whatever it's called. They're wanting to keep that going because it goes back to COVID, but yet that's what they're wanting to hold everybody hostage for. And here's another thing. These Democrats are holding everybody hostage in this country. They're not holding the House of Representatives or the Senate hostage. They're holding you, the people, hostage. They're hurting you. The Democrats are. Republicans aren't. Trump isn't. The Democrats are. I mean, their minority whip. She even came out and said, yes, people are going to be hurting, but that's the only leverage we have. Really? So you're going to hurt the American people in order to try to get what you want, to blackmail your way into getting what you want? So you can keep giving insurance to illegals? Don't think so. And yeah, I'm going to talk about illegals because my aunt married one many, many years ago when I was about 15 years old. He come up from just south of Chihuahua and she married him. And he was a good old boy for a little bit. Got caught a lot of times, sent back, kept coming across. She got smart, finally got rid of him. Because he was worthless. He was worthless tits on a boar hog. But anyway, that's what they're wanting to do. They're wanting this insurance for these illegals. They're holding everybody hostage. They're hurting you. Now here comes with the SNAP program. Now, I've never been on SNAP myself. Never applied for any kind of assistance at all. But yet, the people that's on it, they're out there hurting it. Now, here's the funny part is. Here's the funny part. Somebody said, I will help do this. A private individual has offered to write a check and do this. Just like a private individual wrote a check to pay the military. And it's just like this building on the East Wing. Everybody's in uproar on that, but here, let me tell you. It's not government money. It's individuals who's put money together in order to do it. Trump is one of them. Then he's got some other people who's putting money in also. It's not coming out of the budget, the government budget. No. The Democrats want you to think that, but it's not. Just like they were trying to hold up the SNAP program, they're trying to hold up the insurance program, all this stuff. And that's where Trump was saying, open the government and we can talk. But they don't want to. They don't want to at all. Now, you ought to be figuring things out by now. And if you're not, maybe you ought to use your head for something other than a hat rack. Because to me, you've been sitting on the fence way too long and you got splinters in your butt. You know, it don't take a rocket scientist to figure out just what the hell's going on in our country. And it's good versus evil. If you want to look at it that way, it's the right versus the left. You can look at it that way. You can look at it as conservatives against the liberals, Republicans against Democrats, however you want to look at it. But I'm going to tell you this. I'm out here in the middle of nowhere in a flyover state where nobody comes to. Nobody comes to this state at all. But this is the only state in America Obama never got a vote in. Take that to the bank. But out here, we look at things pretty damn real. We look at things pretty honest. And you see what's going on up there in that 10 mile by 10 mile sovereign piece of land? It's hurting everybody here. Everybody here is hurting. And you guys need to wake up and understand what's happening. You know, everybody keeps saying, oh, my senator, my House representative, they're doing great. They're great people. They're changing things. They're making everything better for all of us. All right. Well, let me ask you this. If they're making everything so much better How did they become millionaires after becoming a senator or representative? And since they became millionaires, if they've made everything so much better for you, why aren't you a millionaire? Why aren't you being able to trade stocks like they can? How come you don't get all the benefits they do? You ever thought about that? You ever thought about how they have all this stuff? They go into office maybe with $40,000 in the bank account, and after a year or two in there, they're worth several $1,000,000. Well, if they're worth several $1,000,000 and they're representing your district and your state, why aren't you a millionaire? Because if they're doing so damn good, think about it, people. Think about it. Quit being a yard bird. Now, here's something else. You know, everybody can say what they want about the way things are going in this country. Granted, it's not the best. I'm in agriculture, and things are tough. Even though the ranchers are finally starting to get some prices that they need to for their cattle, and yes, we're short on cattle, big time short on cattle. That's one of the only good things that's happening right now. But where I live, fuel prices are still through the roof. Diesel prices are damn near up to $3.50 a gallon, $3.50 a gallon. Granted, you can go to other places and it's $3 or less in other places, but right where I'm at, this area is big on agriculture and oil. There ain't no drilling here. There ain't no drilling here at all. And there probably won't be for another 20 or 30 years. But everybody still thinks they need oil field prices on everything. But I don't know where you're at, but I can go to the grocery store and I can't walk out of, say, Walmart. No matter what I do, it costs me $100 or more every time I go there. Now, here's another question about Wally World. Like the redneck heaven. Why is it they can charge two type of taxes and they're more than your state tax? Now, here in my state, in my city, I can go to Wally World and they charge $4, a 4.9% tax on edible items. But on non-edible items, they charge 9.4%. Now, how is a company allowed to do that and screw the American people over? There's a lot of things Trump needs to look at. A lot of things that are getting done behind the door that you can't see and you won't know about. But there's still a lot of stuff he needs to fix. Now, remember, this is only his first year. Now, look how much stuff he's already got done. Look how much stuff, how many people he's already pissed off by getting this stuff done. Look at how this left is losing their ever-loving mind about everything that's been going on, but yet stuff is happening. Stuff is getting better little by little in their areas. Even though they don't want to admit it, they are. But you know the funny thing? Here's the funny thing about this whole ordeal. You remember in his first term, all you heard was from Sheila Jackson Lee, Pelosi, Maxine Waters, all these people. I'm gonna behave myself. All these people, bad mouth, just everything you can say, they said it. Granted, it was all a crock of crud, and a damn thing didn't come out of their mouth that wasn't true. But you don't hear nobody saying anything right now. You don't hear anybody saying anything except for they don't like Trump. And it became so obvious in this No Kings March thing they had all over the place. I watched several interviews going out here and interviewing these youngins, and I had to laugh. They asked him, so why don't you like Trump? I don't know. Well, what has he done that you don't like? I don't know. So why are you here? Well, I'm just coming out to support everybody else that's here. If you don't know what the hell you're doing, why show up? if you don't have the slightest clue why you're there, why be there? It don't make any damn sense to me. You know, it's like the cognitive thinking has just gone way off the tracks. And it's just like, maybe it's just me, but sure seems like this younger generation's getting dumber and dumber. I don't know if it's because all social media or they spend their lives in this damn thing and not enough time in reality, but good God, Gertie, really? I work an average of 11 to 14 hours, 7 days a week. If I'm not working at my job, then I'm working at my place. Then I'm taking a few minutes off to do this. And I like doing this, so it don't bother me. But I work. I'm 61 years old. Hell, I just went and had my yearly physical and they told me I'm healthier than a damn horse. Most people in their 20s and 30s ain't as healthy as I am. So it makes you wonder. Makes you wonder. But here's something I just got to say this. I just need to say this. You know, I look at these people that's coming up, these younger generations. I'm a boomer. I'm a baby boomer. So I look at everybody that's past Gen X, because we damn sure grew up fast. We was the original latchkey kids. We was the ones that we was out there working when we were 6, 7, 8 years old, because we had to. We was the ones out there that said, don't come home till it's dark. Not a problem. We found shit to do. Right, wrong, or indifferent. But past that, I see a lot of problems. And these problems have been created by the government. You know, the Democrats' philosophy is if you tell a lie enough times, everybody will start believing it. Well, you look at some of these kids now, and they'll lie and constantly lie and constantly lie. And not only kids. I got a friend who's in his 30s, mid to late 30s, and he can't tell you the truth to save his soul. He tells a lie after a lie after a lie, and I catch him in it all the time. And I say something about it all the time. Why in the hell are you lying to me? You know, back in my day, if you got caught lying to somebody, well, you get jack slapped. But that's just how it was back then. And times have changed. Granted, 99% of you wouldn't be able to survive the way we grew up, but, you know, it's just the way it is. But all I'm going to ask you guys to do, and this is going to be hard, instead of pointing fingers at everybody and calling each other names, sit down, open up your mind. Open up this noggin of yours up here. Pull your hats off of it. Quit using it as a hat rack. Turn off ABC, NBC, MSNBC, CBS, Fox News. Turn them all off. You guys, every one of you carry around one of these things, or you carry around a laptop, or you got a home computer like this sitting at the house. Start doing some research. Start looking at stuff. Start trying to figure things out for yourself instead of depending on what somebody else says. You might find out you're going to learn something. And when you do, then you're going to start noticing things. I grew up with a deal called the 3 L's. I was taught this at a very young age. You look, you listen, and you learn. You don't look at one thing. You look at many different things. You listen to a lot of different things. And then you'll start learning something. And you go by your gut instinct. You know that gut instinct that tells you if something's right or wrong. Tells you if something's just a little bit off. Well, there's a lot of us that need to get back to doing that. You know, the hardest thing that anybody has to accept is brutal honesty. Is the truth. People have the damnedest time. They don't like to hear honesty. They don't like to hear the brutal honesty. They don't like to hear the truth. Well, I tell you what, it quacks like a duck, walks like a duck, it's a damn duck. And, my theory on life is this. If you're going to be windy, go somewhere else. I ain't got time to tolerate you. I got other things to do. And as far as the research goes, I got tons of it over here. I can get on this thing, look up everything I need. But just remember this. It's up to you to don't cause blame or cause harm, but to learn. And if you're not willing to learn, then you're part of the damn problem. So with that, I'm going to call her good. This is my Sunday edition of my opinion on things. Like I said, my name is Mr. Brutally Honest from Red, White, and True News. And I thank each and every one of you for being here. And just remember this. If you sit on a wooden fence too long, you're going to get splinters in your butt. So get your ass up, go forward, never go backwards. Y'all have a good day. God bless you. God bless this Republic of America.